morning. Welcome to Exiles TV. I'm Bill Profita. Kevin taking a day off today. We appreciate your joining us. And a reminder, Clarence Buggs follows this at 11 a.m. Lots going on in and around town and all across the nation. We are seeing our death toll rise again in Baton Rouge. This time, it was in a house fire. Apparently, there was a tremendous house fire early this morning in the Zion City area. BRFD says one person has perished in that fire. The blaze broke out around 5 a.m. in the 4900 block of Packard Street and was contained around 5:40. Eyewitnesses told the firefighters they saw a man run into the home while it was engulfed in flames. They're trying to confirm that piece of information. The name of the deceased has not been released at this time. The fire is under investigation as to its cause. But, you know, what a shame. House fire in the middle of the night and ends up in a fatality. We'll talk about the weather pattern that we've got going on throughout our entire viewing area in just a minute. But the Reverend Tony Spell, you remember the pastor of a Pentecostal-related church up in Central who about 10 months ago decided that he was going to ignore the order to not have a congregation in his church due to COVID-19. He had his hearing to quash the charges against him related to his disobeying the COVID-19 restrictions. It's very interesting because he didn't go into court. Instead, he stayed outside with his followers, kind of rallying them, and he was basically just holding kind of a rally while his attorney and the prosecuting attorneys made their arguments in court. The hearing was set to rule on Spell's motion to quash 6 misdemeanor charges that are pending against him for violating the governor's emergency orders. His Life Tabernacle Church held services without any kind of capacity restrictions or social distancing restrictions or wearing mask restrictions, and he ran afoul of the executive order a number of times. Well, the judge in the case, Ebony Johnson Rose, denied all the motions, citing the constitutionality of the governor's order, which had already been established and decided by a federal court. Here's what Reverend Spell had to say. This judge and Papillon and prosecuting attorneys just ruled against us. They didn't rule against Atlas Rule Pentecostal. They ruled against religious liberties in America. They ruled against civil liberties in America. A loss for us today is a loss for America. A loss for us today is a loss for all religion in America, and not just religion, but people with civil liberties. His attorney, Jeff Wittenbrick, argued that the orders unfairly targeted house of worship while entities like Walmart were allowed to remain open with hundreds of customers. The prosecutor he referred to, Daryl Papillon, he's a longtime attorney here in Baton Rouge, and he was brought in by the DA's office to handle the case, said the law was neutrally applied. He added, you cannot decide on a given day that our God, our church, our beliefs are bigger than the law. He argued that Governor Edwards was afforded the ability to create these mandates bearing the weight of the law, and that religious freedom does not give them the right to expose the community to communicable disease. So what happened is his motions to quash the charges were dismissed. He is now expected to appeal, Reverend Spell, to the First Circuit Court of Appeals. He will have a status update in about a month and a week, March 1st, on this matter. I thought it was very, very interesting watching the video, and I was seeing the screaming and the yelling and the gesticulating, and I was like, what the hell is this? And then I realized that it was Reverend Spell, and it was outside the courtroom. You certainly do not have to testify one way or another in one of your own cases. The Constitution says if you want to decline, you can do that. But I would suspect that if he has something to say, that he would want to say it in court, to the judge, to the prosecutors, and not just outside to his own followers. I think it's probably a lot more like the old cliche of preaching to the choir in this case. But that is his right under the Constitution, and that is what he did. So we will see where this goes. Now, I would assume if he appeals to the Fifth Circuit, that would delay any legal action at the district court, but I don't know that. They may be able to proceed with their legal action in district court while his appeal is pending. So it's just one of these things that is going to be, if nothing else, folks, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. We'll be back with more on Exiles TV in just a moment.
Taste the feeling.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Welcome back to Exiles TV. I'm Bill Profita, Kevin with the day off. So, do you all think, is the weather pattern that we're seem to be enjoying all the way from basically the Texas border through the Mississippi border in the southern part of this state, is it doing things like causing things to bloom at your home right now? Well, we're going to have more of the same from Lafayette all the way through Baton Rouge and into New Orleans, and it will make a little bit of a curve that will kind of coincide with the Gulf. So Houma, Thibodaux, Morgan City, all of you might be spared some of this weather, but for Opelousas, Lafayette, Baton Rouge, the river parishes, Jefferson Parish, Orleans Parish, Plaquemines Parish, here's what we are going to have. We had a very severe downpour, basically, in the Baton Rouge area around 4 a.m. This happened in Lafayette at around 3:15, and it made its way to New Orleans about 5:15. Temperatures dropped quite a bit because they had been in the high 60s overnight, which is unusually warm for this time of year in South Louisiana, and then dropped down to about 60, 61 in the Baton Rouge area. And we have got a very, very thick, low cloud deck that is going to bring scattered showers back to the area with the possibility of severe showers. Lafayette, Baton Rouge, River Parishes, New Orleans, throughout the day today and into the night. We're going to see highs in the upper 60s, which is about 15 degrees higher than normal for this time of year. And then overnight lows will be in the mid 50s. Now, the thing that you need to be aware about, if you are watching this live at 10 a.m., or if you're watching the replay at 10 p.m., it'll be a little bit closer to you. These storms do have a little bit of a propensity to have some strong winds with them, and even some possibly damaging winds. If you look just to our east, the front part of this storm, the northern part of this storm, which arrived earlier than what we got, caused tornadoes in western Alabama that caused 3 deaths. This was late yesterday evening and into yesterday night. So while I don't normally do a lot of weather on this program, I did want to remind you to kind of be mindful of what is going on around you out there today, because the weather has a potential, not a high potential, but it has a potential to be rather severe. Real quickly, we're going to get into Crime Stoppers in just a moment with former Deputy Chief Jonny Dunnam, but this is one of these. Chris Nakamoto over at Channel 2 can find some things that nobody else can find. This is from Iberville Parish, and I have a feeling Clarence is going to talk about this a little more, because I was kind of late to the party on this. I just found out about this morning. But the man who has spent his entire career fighting to protect the environment in Iberville Parish and in the Atchafalaya Basin has been arrested for illegal dumping of raw sewage into a public waterway in Iberville Parish. The Louisiana Department of Health paid a visit to Dean Wilson of Bayou Sorrel. He is the executive director of the Atchafalaya Basin Keepers. It's an organization that has as its mission to protect the health of the basin and its waterways for generations to come. Apparently, he had applied for a sewer permit in 2004 and did not follow up on it. Instead, investigators found 2 PVC pipes coming directly from his home and carrying raw sewage. I mean, they could identify some of it, fecal material, toilet paper, things like that, directly into the Bayou waterway. Needless to say, Iberville Parish President Mitch Orso is not real pleased about it, and the Department of Health is not real pleased about it. However, one of his co-workers at Louisiana, or the Atchafalaya Basin Keeper, Monica Fisher, said that the complaint to the state was made by his ex-wife, and that they are in the middle of a very hotly disputed custody battle that is going to be discussed at the very beginning of February. That may be true. I don't know what that has to do with the PVC pipe that is running fecal material and toilet paper into a protected bayou as part of the Atchafalaya Basin. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. And again, I don't know how Chris Nakamoto finds out about these things, but he finds out about things that really come down to the micro level. I mean, this guy, I'm sure he's like a lot of people that live along Bayou Sorrel. It's a very nondescript home. He minds his own business. And yet, here he is supposed to be, he's the executive director of the Atchafalaya Basin Keepers, and he's the one doing the daily flush into the waterway. He did admit, by the way, that he has no sewage system on his own property. He doesn't have a septic tank. He doesn't have a sanitary sewer linked into the parish's sewer system. None of the above. Again, Parish President Mitch Orso, after having his people in Iberville Parish inspected, says it's confirmed he has raw sewage running from his house into a stream of water. He added, he should know better than that. Methinks that if you are an environmentalist and you're the executive director of a protective group that wants to keep pollutants out of the Atchafalaya watershed, you would be the last person to be putting raw sewage into a body of water in the Atchafalaya Basin. Yet, here we are. Chris Nakamoto, Channel 2. Good catch on this one. We'll be back in a moment. Jonny Dunnam of Crime Stoppers. Stick around.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Team Honda wants to thank you for once again making us Louisiana's #1 new car dealer by offering you never-before-seen savings. For the first time ever, get 0% financing up to 60 months on some of your favorite Honda models. Get thousands in savings right now at Team Honda on Segan Lane.
Back. Glad to have you with us on Exiles TV. I'm Bill Profita. Kevin Gallagher taking a day off. Former Deputy Chief Jonny Dunnam, who is now the Executive Director of Crime Stoppers of Greater Baton Rouge, joins us as we're going to try to be a little more regular with this, talking about crime and how you can help solve some of these unsolved crimes in Baton Rouge. Jonny, how's it going?
It's going, well, I would say good. I mean, obviously in Baton Rouge, we've had a little increase in crime over the last year, but especially over the weekend. We
are hearing that while crimes of violence are rising, and right. I think we see that on the news every day and night.
Yeah, shootings, homicides, things like that have gone up.
Property crimes are either static or a little bit down.
Yeah, property crimes, armed robberies, rapes, those other types of violent crime have gone down. They've gone down consistently in the United States over probably the last 30 years. There's ebbs and flows. You'll get a year of increases and then you get 2 years of decreases. But over that last 30 years or so, most of those violent crimes have gone down.
Is this because we are a lot more wary and we have a lot better preventive measures, surety to get caught? I know this isn't a Baton Rouge area, but I mean, how stupid do you have to be? I'm talking about the girls in the Walmart in Lake Charles. 4 teenagers attack a 5th
Yeah.
in a place that's got excellent lighting, security cameras everywhere. They all pull out their blades. They all take a turn stabbing her. Now they're all going to go to jail for murder. I mean, are they the exception? I mean, is it just too easy to get caught now?
Well, I think with the advent of certain technologies, obviously cameras, you've seen a huge increase in camera usage in residential neighborhoods and houses. I mean, in the past, usually you used to have cameras at convenience stores and things like that that would tend to get robbed. But now the accessibility of camera systems, the Ring camera systems and all the other camera systems that are available and the cheap cost of them has increased. The utilization of police departments, law enforcement, and getting those images and allows people to get caught, that has increased. So technology has kind of leveraged the shortage of manpower in policing, but has allowed for the clearance rates of certain types of crimes to go up.
Well, my perception is that when we see you, in the past when we saw Don Stone or Sid Newman, that we're seeing a lot more financial crimes where we've got people in the wind, illegal use of an access card, like a debit or a credit card, or forgery, or embezzling from their employers.
Yeah, that's right. We have one of those on the most wanted agenda today. I think with the climate, with the COVID crisis and then the unemployment rates and things like that, I think anytime you have issues with the economy, you see an increase in those what they consider white collar types of crimes, where people are stealing, embezzling money, things like that.
Let me ask you this. I mean, a lot of these people don't look like they're on a break from MIT. Okay, these people are not. Many of them are not high IQ models. Is this easy? I mean, I thought when we all had to go and get the chips on our cards and all that it was going to be absolutely foolproof. Is it easy for someone to grab somebody's debit card and actually use it?
Well, I mean, you have the skimmers. I mean, with the increase in technology that's helped reduce certain types of crimes, you've also had, technology that's allowed criminals to also use different tools and techniques to steal money as well. You have skimmers and things that sometimes people put on gas pumps and ATM machines, and then you also have individuals that are able to hack into certain systems and steal financial information from people. That allows for identity theft and things like that. So where you've seen an increase in clearance rates and burglaries and things like that, you've probably seen an increase as well in financial type thefts. And those are usually, a lot of times, technology related, as opposed to the old forgeries and things that we used to have.
Well, sometimes we also have to get to a number before red flags go off. So if somebody's working in your office doing your bookkeeping, and maybe they're raking 100 here, 50 there, you're not going to get alerted until all of a sudden they decide, well, today I'm going to take 2,000.
Right. And usually criminals, a lot of times, I know in burglary cases, it was the case, usually by the time you caught somebody committing a crime, it wasn't the first time they committed that crime. The statistics were in burglaries, they had committed 30 burglaries before they were eventually caught in the past. Now, that's probably gone down with technology nowadays, but they usually committed other crimes, and that's the same thing with financial crimes. It's not they might have done it once or twice, gotten away with it, but they start to graduate and feel emboldened and eventually try to steal more money, and that's usually what gets them caught.
Usually that greed will get you done. Well, let's start talking about our most wanted. Katie is in the truck filling in for us. Let's throw a picture up, and we'll give you a story to go with the picture. All right. Who is this lovely lady?
This is Samantha May Hines. She's a white female, 42 years of age, and like you stated earlier, she was working as an office manager for a local business, and she forged 2 checks for over $2,000 each. The owner of the business did try to get in touch with her after he realized that the 2 checks were forged. Went to her residence to talk to her about it, and when he got there, he learned that she had packed up and left fled town. So Samantha is wanted for 2 counts of forgery and felony theft.
I see brown hair and brown eyes. We got height, weight, age.
Yep, she's weight's 115. We don't have a height on her, but we do have her weight and brown eyes and brown hair. Sorry.
So now this is Samantha Hines, right?
Samantha Hines.
Samantha Hines. So if you know her or think you know anything about this, all you need to do is call 344-STOP.
Yep.
That's Crime Stoppers. It is completely anonymous.
Yep.
You don't have to give your name.
And we do give a cash reward. Usually on fugitives like this, our most wanted fugitives we get anywhere from $300 to $350, depending, just for the information that leads to the arrest on Samantha Haynes. You can also go on our, we have an app. It's a P3 is the company that makes the app for all the Crime Stoppers around the country. So you can go to the App Store or Google Play Store, download the P3 app, and you could submit your tips that way as well.
And nothing is shown up.
Nope.
Your IP address and all that does not hit.
That's right, does not. There's no way to track who has logged into the app, who submitted the tip. Just the same with the telephone calls at 344-STOP. We don't keep track of, have no caller ID or anything like that. We don't know who you are. We'll give you a code number, keep your code number, and if your information leads to the arrest, we will get you paid.
Now, Miss Samantha, whose picture you just saw up there a minute ago, 2 checks for $2,000 each.
One was a little over $2,000 and one was for $2,000. Exactly.
Now that's felony, right?
Yes.
Each one of those is a felony.
Yes. Well, the forgeries in themselves were felonies, but the amounts are also felony thefts.
So when she is apprehended, how much time is she possibly facing?
Oh, it all depends. It depends on the judge. It depends on the prosecutors. So, it depends on any priors that she may have. It depends on restitution. A lot of times restitution's taken into account.
But again, somebody who actually sits there and physically forges a check, I'm thinking if they're found guilty, the judge is not going to be real pleased.
No, I wouldn't think so.
Going to do some time.
Yeah, probably going to do some time.
Now, again, before we're coming to the end of this segment, we're going to keep Johnny around for another segment, but when you see this, I mean, that is obviously not a mugshot because she hasn't been arrested.
Right.
That looks like a fairly happy-go-lucky young person that had a good job. And
you would think, and made an awful mistake, hopefully, and that they can get their lives back together after they pay for their crime.
Well, see, I've been instructed by someone who has a bigger heart than I do, my wife, to ask you, are there sometimes contributing factors? I mean, could she have, a brother that's got a drug problem?
Obviously, it could be a contributing factor. You don't know, and I'm sure that's what all that information the judge will take into consideration. That's why the judges get paid the big bucks and sit on that bench, to tell, I guess, listen to the reasoning behind all these crimes that are committed, and to decide, whether the person needs rehabilitation.
Well, and again, one of the things that I like about Crime Stoppers is that it does awaken in people a little something saying, hey, you know what, if I owned that business and she took me for $4,200 or whatever it was, it would really hurt me.
Yeah.
And I think I know her. I think I know this person. I'm going to make a call.
That's right. Small businesses are struggling as well right now. So a $4,000 hit is difficult to take for small businesses.
Well, and again, for the audience there are a lot of people say, well, yeah, it's a small amount of money, and his bank will probably make it good. No, not if you gave her the keys to the car. Not if she had checkbook access.
She was the office manager.
Yeah, you're stuck. Your bank is going to say, we're really sorry to hear that, Mr. Jones, but you're going to have to eat this.
Yeah, that's not a pill I'd want to swallow.
No. We're going to continue with Jonny Dunnam, former Deputy Chief of the Baton Rouge Police Department, now Executive Director of Crime Stoppers of the Greater Baton Rouge area. Again, you never have to give your name. The number is 344-STOP. We'll give you all the text in and all that near the end of the next segment. But stick around. We got a couple more of our most wanted. We're going to show you their loving faces And we will see if you can't help apprehend them for their crimes in just a little minute as Exiles TV continues. Stick around.
Valello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Valello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with the Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Of all the auto brands on the road today, only one has been named the best auto brand for 6 straight years. That brand is Mazda. Come shop and save on the award-winning lineup of new Mazdas right now at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda on Airline.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
Welcome back to Exiles TV and a good Tuesday morning, and if you're watching in the evening, a good Tuesday night to you. Glad to have you with us this morning. We are continuing our Crime Stoppers segment. 344-STOP, that is the number. If you have a tip, 344-STOP. And somebody's asking, Johnny, what is the app called again?
P3, the letter P with a 3.
Mm-hmm.
You can go in, just type in P3. And you can pick, you scroll down and pick which Crime Stoppers. In this case, it's Baton Rouge Crime Stoppers, the organization, and the tips come directly to us.
And again, your digits are not stored anywhere.
Nope.
It doesn't read your internet address. None of that.
None of that.
Completely anonymous.
That's right.
So there's lots of ways to get in touch. All right, we have got our most wanted that we're covering today. Who do we have next?
Okay, our next most wanted is.
Let's see who we got up there.
Right, Alabre Raquel Slan, and she goes by the nickname Bray, or Bree, I should say. She's a black female, 30 years of age. She's 5'2", weighs 120 pounds, and she is wanted for attempted second-degree murder, illegal use of a weapon, and aggravated criminal damage to property. And
Whoa.
What occurred with Bree is on January the 13th of this year, she and the victim had gotten into an altercation at the apartment that they lived in. The victim, I think, was moving out of the apartment. She had rented a U-Haul truck, and when they had gotten into an argument, the victim left the apartment, went and sat in the truck, and a little while later, Bree grabbed a handgun and walked outside and fired a round through the front windshield of the U-Haul, almost striking the victim. So that's why Bree is wanted for attempted second-degree murder and illegal use of a weapon and damage to property.
Any priors on her, or is this her first rodeo?
No, I'm not sure about the priors on her. I didn't pull a criminal history on her, but I really couldn't answer that question. I don't know if she has any priors or not.
So if you know Bree Slan, or you think you may know her whereabouts, this would be a good phone call to make. 344-STOP, 344-STOP. That's 225 area code, by the way, folks.
Yeah.
You can get the app anytime and download it. It's called P, the letter P, and then the numeral 3.
3, that's right.
And you can also text now, right?
No, we don't have the text. You can go on our website, also submit a web tip, which is connected to the P3 app. So it's completely encrypted and anonymous as well. You can go to crimestoppersbr.com, www.crimestoppersbr.com, and click on the button that says submit a tip.
Now, is this someone that you would consider to be dangerous? I mean, using your police sense here.
Yeah, I mean, anybody obviously that is going to escalate an argument to the point where they pull a weapon and fire a round through a windshield at a person is obviously somebody we want to have arrested as quick as possible. So detectives have been looking for her since January 13th. So, you know, it's been a little, I guess, over a week, and we want to make sure that she's apprehended.
I think it's kind of hard with one of these to get a lot of cooperation from the community, because apparently it happened very, very quickly and off she went.
Yeah, she left before the police got there. So she hasn't been back, I don't believe, to her apartment, but she may be. If anybody has information on it, we ask them to call 344-STOP.
All right, let's get our last of our most wanted up, so we can tell you a little bit about this. Who is this?
All right, this is Dominic Johnson. He's a black male. He is 20 years of age, and he is wanted by the East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office for the murder of Logan Lacombe, which occurred on August the 21st of 2020. So it was a shooting where the sheriff's office was dispatched to the parking lot in the 9700 block of Jefferson Highway, so not very far from here.
Yeah, not very far.
And when the officers arrived and the EMS arrived, they transported Mr. Lacombe, the victim, to the hospital, but he succumbed to his injuries. So we are definitely looking for Dominic Johnson. He is an armed and dangerous felon that we want to make sure is taken off the streets.
Do you have any background other than the stats that we've got here?
As far as the information,
as this guy, yeah.
Well, just the fact that he is wanted for this particular homicide. You know, I'm not exactly sure as far as his priors, his history. I didn't pull a criminal history on him, so I couldn't tell you what other crimes he's been accused of. But anytime you murder somebody in the parking lot of an apartment complex, you definitely need to go to jail.
Our DA always tells us that 99% of the murders, somebody has a beef with somebody else and somebody knows something.
Yeah, I mean, most of the homicides, especially in the Baton Rouge area, are it's either drug related, group violence related. Some people call them gangs. I don't know if we really have organized per se gangs like the Bloods and the Crips in Baton Rouge, but we do have organized groups of individuals that do have beefs with each other, and they will, unfortunately, they'll escalate situations just from a simple posting on a social media account that they feel is derogatory towards themselves. They'll kill somebody over that.
So the victim of this was also 20 years old,
Yep.
Logan Lacombe.
Yep.
So if you know anything about Dominic, and it's spelled interestingly, it's a different kind of spelling, D-O-M-I-N-I-K. So it's kind of a little different spelling, and that might be enough to tip you off that you know the guy.
That's right.
He is armed and dangerous, and you really need to make a call.
And Dominic's last known address was in Laplace, Louisiana. So anybody that if
we're
reach
seen
out,
in Laplace.
if you're seen in Laplace, anybody that's out in that area may know where Dominic Johnson is.
Again, 344 stop. You never have to give your name. And again, I know if this is somebody that has pulled the trigger and killed somebody else, and you know him, it might be a little fearsome kind of experience for you.
Yeah, it's best just to call 344 stop. We'll have the, no matter where he's located, we can have that local agency go pick him up.
And as far as we know, to the best of all of our knowledge, we've never had a Crime Stoppers informant get found out through informing to Crime Stoppers.
Never in 38 years of Crime Stoppers. I mean, we've had defense attorneys and different people try to subpoena the information, the records. I mean, even if they were never able to get the records, but even if they were, there's no names, there's no information. We don't know who it is that's calling. All we do is give them a code number and ask for the information. That's it.
We do a better job than the feds do protecting whistleblowers.
Yeah.
All right, so there's the deal. Let's give all three names. And Katie, if we could have all three pictures again as we kind of wrap it up. Let's start with the first one, Katie, if you don't mind. And her name is?
Samantha Hines, and she is wanted for 2 counts of forgery and felony theft.
And then Miss Bree is next, or Bry, is that?
It's Alabri, I think. Alabri Raquel Slan. And she is wanted for attempted second-degree murder, illegal use of a weapon, and aggravated criminal damage to property.
Well, she had a nice day's work, didn't she?
Yeah.
And then our third one, the fellow we were just talking about,
and that is Dominic Johnson. And he is wanted for first-degree murder and for the murder of Logan Lacombe on August the 21st.
And here's the thing, folks. There are a lot of people that say, well, I don't know if what I have is valuable. Go ahead and make the call anyway. Mm-hmm. You have got skilled, trained detectives that can determine whether what you've got is valuable or not. And you may not know what you don't know.
Every little bit of information can help solve a crime.
Yeah.
No matter how minor it is.
So you can go to crimestoppersbr.com.
That's right.
And you can leave a tip that way.
Mm-hmm.
You can get the P3 app, which it works for Crime Stoppers all over this country, by the way. And it's the letter P and the numeral 3.
Right.
And you can use that, or you can do the old-fashioned way, 344 STOP. You know what I've always wondered? If you dial that 344 stop from a cell phone,
mm-hmm.
does it go away?
Yeah, we don't have a record of that at all. It just comes in as a phone call with no number attached.
And then I can take my cell phone and say, delete this.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's not even seen on my cell phone.
Not even seen on your cell phone.
Well, 344 stop. These are 3 bad people. Again, 2 very violent. 1 probably put a small business in jeopardy with the amount of money that she stole in these troubling times. So if you think you know anything about any of these, or any other open case, by the way, it doesn't have to be just these.
Any crime, any felony crime, we take the information on.
Yeah.
And even some misdemeanor crimes, some blight issues, things like that. People spray painting walls, any kind of damage to properties, dumping, illegal dumping, we'll take information on that as well.
So again, 344 stop. You could get a cash reward, and you never ever have to give your name. Johnny, we want to have you back again sometime soon.
All right, I appreciate
it. And we'll show the shots of some more miscreants, and hopefully we can get them off the street.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much for being with us. A brief break, and then I'll be back to wrap up the show on Exiles TV. Stick around. There we go.
Caught spiders. Premier Pest Services.
We're making 2021 the year of savings, and it starts right now at Team Toyota. Come get a new 21 Corolla for just $189 a month, or get a 20 Camry for just $19,995. It's a year full of savings starting right now, right here at Team Toyota.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golfing Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
Hi, business owners. Phase 3. Woohoo! But do your customers know you're back? Well, that's where the Clarence Bugg Show and Pelican Broadcasting can help. Right now, we've got great rates on advertising packages to help you get the word out. Shoot me an email at bugsclarence@gmail.com. Or better yet, call me up. I'd love to talk with you. 225-485-6839. Let's get together and make Phase 3 the best it can possibly be.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Welcome back to Exiles TV. Again, our thanks to Deputy Chief Jonny Dunnam for joining us from former Deputy Chief Jonny Dunnam for joining us for the Crime Stoppers segment. Again, if you think you know anything about any of those people or any open case in a 10 parish area, the number to call is 344-STOP. They will evaluate your information, and it's totally anonymous from both ends. So 344-STOP. I know this is kind of silly, but this just tickled me, and I figured if I had a minute or two, I would do something with this. Did you see, what would you call it, a coop cam? A cluck cam? You couldn't call it a ring cam. The chicken thief in suburban New Orleans? So there's this guy in suburban New Orleans who wants to remain anonymous, but he is a backyard chicken farmer. And he's got a nice little elevated coop, and he's got heat lamps in there for the chickens for when it gets cold. And he's got a little exercise yard for them, and he's got some automatic feeders and things like that. And these are not eating hens, these are laying hens. And he woke up yesterday morning to find no chickens in his chicken coop. So here's where we go to the cluck cam or the coop cam for the instant replay. And there is this guy. The video is all over YouTube right now, and you can also see it at Fox 8 in New Orleans. This guy is trying to reach into his coop, and he puts his face right through the little armhole, and you can see his face as clear as day. And he's trying to use kind of a hooked stick to grab the chickens. And the chickens just are jumping over the stick. They're not going. They like their place. He obviously doesn't see the camera, and the bulb in his head doesn't go off to say, hey, why is this chicken coop lit up like the stage at the Copacabana in the middle of the night? That doesn't fire with him. So, not to be deterred, he walks around the coop and goes to the door for the coop, big drop-down door about 2.5 by 3.5 that the farmer uses when he wants to collect the eggs and when he wants to make sure they got enough nest material and change the light bulb in the glaring bulb that this is illuminating. So now he sticks his whole head and his whole shoulders into this chicken coop, and he starts grabbing the chickens and putting them in a bag, just one after another. He puts them in the bag, he closes the door, and he makes his escape. Now, the farmer says, you know, if you're going to have chickens, you're going to lose chickens. He said occasionally a possum or a raccoon will get in to that coop and try to get the eggs, and the chickens will scatter. He said this is the first time he has seen a human being actually steal his chickens. So he has no chickens left from his chicken coop, and this guy is fairly philosophical about it. He said, I'd love to have my chickens back, but the odds of getting them back is pretty slim. I think the best that I can hope for is that somebody maybe will recognize the man in the photograph and he'll be publicly shamed. Crime Stoppers for chicken coops. I should have asked Johnny while he was here. But now here's the deal, all right? We're going to chuckle about this guy stealing chickens. But you know, I mean, you know how they used to hang rustlers when they stole cattle? Remember that? Back in the 1800s? It was a hanging offense? Well, under Louisiana law, chickens that lay eggs, even if they're in your backyard coop, are subject to the theft of livestock laws in Louisiana. $5,000 fine per chicken and imprisonment for up to 10 years. So if this guy who didn't realize that the brightly lit chicken coop had a camera, if he gets caught, if the judge can stop laughing long enough, he's going to face some serious time. It is the same if you steal chickens as if you steal somebody's prize bull or somebody's dairy cows or somebody's racehorse. The penalties are the same if you steal chickens. I know I kind of waxed on about that, but I just thought it was too funny and too interesting to not go forth. We told you yesterday, Kevin brought this up, that they are considering in the Lake Charles area how to properly charge the 4 teenagers who stabbed to death another teenager in a Walmart store. We have very little new information other than the fact that the surveillance video inside the Walmart did actually record them stealing the knives that they used to attack this other teenager. Apparently, it started as an argument or an altercation of some sort at a movie theater. And the one girl went to the Walmart, which I guess is fairly near, maybe on the same pad, maybe in the same shopping area as the movie theater. These other girls followed her there. They went to the kitchen implements display and they stole knives. Now, again, you don't have these big sharp knives just laying out there ready for use. They're normally packaged somehow. They're in a blister pack, or they're being held by twist ties to a piece of cardboard that's got the price and all that. So I want you to think through this with me. So these other 4 girls actually hatched a plot at some point to take these knives from the Walmart, to unpackage them, and to use them to stab to death this 15-year-old. Now, we are wondering as is the Calcasieu Parish Sheriff, and I'm sure the DA is going to weigh in on this at some point. If there will be additional charges that will make this murder aggravating circumstances, the additional charges, stealing the weapon that you're going to use to do it, and if that will make these children, teenagers, eligible to be tried as adults, which would up the ante on the prison time that they would get. They can't get the death penalty. Nobody under 17 gets the death penalty. But up the ante on the prison time, and also prevent their identities from being shielded from the rest of the public by the juvenile justice system. So there's going to be a lot more to come on this one. But I got to tell you what, the new information on this really, really sends a chill up the back of my spine. You know, when Kevin was reporting it yesterday, and he had more details at that time than I did, that said, you know, all four of the girls had knives. There's a lot of teenagers that carry knives. You know, they may not be legal knives, but there's a lot of teenagers that carry guns. But now, the new information is they actually followed her into the Walmart. They split off and went to the kitchenware section and grabbed knives off the shelf, unpackaged them, and then used them to commit this attack. And if that doesn't make it chill, these are 13 and 14-year-olds, run up your spine, I don't know what will. Thank you for joining us this morning for Exiles TV. Clarence Buggs coming your way next. And of course, you can watch us again at 10 o'clock tonight. Until we meet again tomorrow, be well, be safe. Thanks for being with us. Bye-bye.